have entered the game.
Sup, nerds? Take a seat and welcome back to Player 2's Tabletop Tavern. My name is JT Ryder. I am your DM for this adventure, titled, Where Have All the World Walkers Gone? And now, it's recap time. Tales of adventures and heroes are typically immortalized in the songs of bards. However, we don't have a bard in the party, so it looks like it's up to me. So sit down, shut up, and let's fucking go. When last we met, our heroes found themselves in the Euler Woods as night fell. They pushed on through the trees with weary legs and aching backs in the direction advised by a ghost. A former hunter of Euler who died after finding himself in a pretty sticky situation. Nailed it. As they climbed over roots and through brambles, the party found themselves at a shrine to Euler with a statue depicting him and his loyal hunting dog, Brega. The shrine was discolored from age and cracked with mosses and ivies climbing up from the forest floor. A stone offering bowl in the same condition as the rest of the shrine sat at the base with a quiver of arrows and a rancid hunk of meat inside it. Tucked behind the bowl, a large feather, like comically large. Also, at this shrine was a stone bench. Brand new and untaken by the creeping green of the forest floor. Here's your hint. As the party approached the shrine to inspect it or maybe even pray to it, a sticky mass thunked onto Saren's back as the bench revealed itself to be a mimic, desperately attacking the party. After a good few rounds of combat, our heroes bested the mimic, and in its last moments before death, it coughed up what turned out to be Brega's collar. Yes, that Brega, the doggone god dog herself. And then quickly, and without warning, a patter of rain on the canopy turned into a torrential downpour within seconds. The vision beyond arm's reach, a thing of the past. The sounds of something big approached in the rain. Soon, Pog, the wandering bog, a large world walker that looks like a mix between a beaver and a toad, splats in front of everyone. Pog looked down at the collar, back up at our heroes, back down at the collar, and then hurriedly hopped off into the night, taking the rain with him. With that, Saren, Nissa, Milo, and Kai set up camp for the night in the holy presence of the shrine. Nissa started to tend to the shrine, and Milo jumped in to lend a hand, as Kai slung a hunk of rotten meat deep into the woods Red Sox style. Saren took the arrows from the shrine and offered the collar and said a prayer. While Scary's goofy ass hobble-wobbled after the rotten meat like Kai said fetch, while Saren prayed at the shrine, he felt a pull from Brega's collar, and so did Kai. When Saren left the altar, Kai stepped up, took the collar, offered a hand-whittled offering so as not to leave the shrine's offering bowl empty. The party then got some rest. A long rest, in fact. And in a veteran move, they decided to take turns keeping watch, and to be honest, I don't know the order of the shifts y'all did because I did not take notes in that moment, but I do know that one of y'all rolled a 4 and fucked it up for everybody. In the second watch, several hours after nightfall, a stampede of wild animals flooded through the camp like a landslide of hooves, claws, and antlers, tearing down tents, stomping out the fire, and leaving our heroes huddled in the fetal position waiting for it all to be over. And when the stampede finally moved past the campsite, the players all looked up to see the fire was still crackling, the tents were still standing, and they each hadn't a single scratch. A trick of the forest's corruption, perhaps? A shared dream, maybe? Who knows? But, wow, what a well-crafted narrative device to keep the players on their toes. If I do say so myself. Huh? Wow. Neat stuff. Anyway. The next morning, the gang packed up camp and continued on their search for Euler's cabin. Their search for answers, and for lost family and friends. And Scary's unending search for questionable meats. Man, Honeydew is really earning them gold stars on the behavior chart, like the one that hung on the door that was made of the shoe organizers. That was in like every public elementary school that had a 2 out of 10 on Zillow. Anyway, so with camp packed up, with pets, familiars, and collars in tow, they headed further into the woods, stumbling upon an old campsite, long abandoned by whoever set it up. The tents were ravaged, torn holes and flaps of fabric swaying in the breeze. Only one set of footprints that seemed to be leaving the campsite, and the fire burned down to ash with a glint of something shiny in its coals. And then after, from what I remember being some pretty substantial perception checks, Kai helped Nissa dig through the coals to find yet another amulet of Euler, making their collection total 4, if I'm not mistaken. Not 12. 4. And Milo found a journal tucked away under a flap of fucked up tent, while Saren tried to pry a chunk of rotten meat out of Scary's beak. The same one? Who knows? Milo read the journal to the group, and after recounting the events that transpired at this camp, our heroes theorized that a corrupted Euler is the one who's been killing the World Walkers, with the last entry ending with, "He isn't lost, he is leashed." As our adventurers discussed what this could mean, they were abruptly interrupted by, in what at this point can arguably be seen as a tradition, right? By a corrupted World Walker blindsiding the absolute shit out of Nissa and mercilessly slamming her into the nearest hard surface. Now, I know 2 times does not indicate a pattern. 1 time is an occurrence, twice is a coincidence, 3 times indicates a pattern. So, Nissa, watch your back. The battle that ensued saw spells fly, man and beast work in tandem, and saw a werewolf Sailor Moon, his hair a different color. And when the party seemed to have Stonebellow, the corrupted protector of the peaks, against the ropes, Brega joined the fight. In a rolling cloud of thunder and a flash of lightning she appeared. Her hair was humming with static electricity, and her eyes were bright white with the glow of a lightning strike. She barked at Stonebellow, and a wave of thunder pulsed through the air, deep enough for the party to feel it in their chests as Stonebellow retreated into the woods. And seeing him flee, Brega's storm faded. The hair on her back laid down at rest, and her eyes returned to a kind reddish-brown as her guard lowered. And that is where we are now, or will be soon. As you wait for the next chapter of our tale, grab an ale. This is a tavern, after all. Thank you for coming by Player 2's Tabletop Tavern, and we'll see you right back here for the next session recap of Where Have All the World Walkers Gone?
And the thunder rolls, and the lightning strikes. Another love grows cold on a sleepless night, as the storm blows all out of control. Deep in her heart, the thunder rolls.
Yeah, same bat tavern, same bat time. Bottoms up. Go Bills.